What I'm going to do is kind of illustrate with a drawing real quick, and then I'm going to actually do it on the vaulted cathedral ceiling. So I'm just going to double click on this. And this is a little diagram that I made up. Okay, so this on your left is going to be a vaulted ceiling. So at the corner piece, that is going to be the lowest point. That'll be H1. That's going to be the 8 foot. We're going to go all the way up to the 12 foot. Okay, and this is the other adjacent wall. All on the other side, that's going to be 12. As you can see, the highest point of the ceiling is on that adjacent wall. So that is going to be a vault. Remember, that is going to be a 0. If we move on over to our other little diagram here for cathedrals, you're going to see two different heights, 8 to 12 respectively there. And as you can see, we call that a church. So that actually what you can see is if we put this in construction terms, here's our ridge beam right up here. That's the highest point of the ceiling, and that's in dead center. So if I had a wall that's 20 feet right here, and if I took my measurement, this would be 10 foot from the highest point of the ceiling in relationship to the length wall. That is going to give you 10 feet. And that is what will be the peak location. That's how you determine it. When you see a triangle, when you walk in to a room with a triangle and it's the cathedral ceiling, the wall with the triangle is the length wall. Okay, so that's how that works. So let's see how we apply that into a real life claim. I'm going to click on done, and I'm going to now go into the scope of damage. The first, when we come in, is to the area. So we have to determine what the area is. So I can just say, for example, living room. And what's the first thing that we need to do? Area is vaulted. So usually when I do is I click on areas vaulted, I'll come right into the height. So our first height is 8. I'm now going to come over to 12. As I click on 12, I need to put the length and the wall in, and the width of the wall in. So I'm going to come over here and select 20 feet for the length, and that's determined by length runs parallel to the slope. I then select the width, in this case 30. The last thing that I need to address on a vaulted or cathedral, is it a vault or a cathedral? That's determined either by 0, peak location along the length, so the highest point of the ceiling is at 0. That is going to be a vault. Or I can do a cathedral, and in this case, I can say the peak location as at 10. And that's all there is to it for doing vaulted or cathedral ceilings. So as you can see, steps one more time is you need to check area is vaulted. Second step, put in the different heights. H1 is the lowest part of the ceiling, and that's going to be 8. Top part is going to be VC height, which is vaulted and cathedral height. That's going to be 12. After that's complete, we need to determine what the length wall is. Remember, length runs parallel to the slope. And once we do that, we put the length in, followed by the width. And the last step will be the peak location. Remember, peak location of 0, vault. Anything beyond that is going to be a cathedral to the other side dimension. So that's how we do it. Okay, so I'm going to come up and then click on done. Okay, and so that's that first segment. Now the second segment that we're going to be talking about is going to be how to scope stairwells. Okay, now stairwells is kind of interesting because if you can take a look at it, a stairwell will be nothing more than a vault. Okay,